Hello, and welcome to our video on Kantian Deontology. In this video, we'll explore the key concepts of this ethical theory and how they differ from other ethical theories. So, let's dive in. Kantian Deontology is an ethical theory that was developed by the German philosopher Immanuel Kant in the 18th century. Kant believed that morality should be based on reason and rationality, rather than emotions or desires. According to Kant, we can determine the rightness or wrongness of an action by examining the motive behind it and whether it can be universalized. In Kantian Deontology, the moral worth of an action is determined by its conformity to the moral law, which is based on the concept of the categorical imperative. The central principle of Kantian Deontology is the categorical imperative. This principle is based on the idea that moral actions must be universalizable. In other words, we should only act in ways that could be made into universal laws without contradiction. The categorical imperative is expressed in two ways: the formula of universal law and the formula of humanity. The formula of universal law states that we should only act in ways that we would want everyone else to act in similar circumstances. This means that we should only act on those maxims or rules that we could will to become universal laws of nature. For example, if we lie to someone, we are treating them as a means to our own ends, rather than as an end in themselves. Therefore, lying could not be universalized without contradiction and is therefore immoral. The formula of humanity states that we should treat all human beings as ends in themselves, rather than as means to our own ends. This means that we should never use people for our own purposes or treat them as mere objects. Instead, we should always respect their dignity and autonomy as rational beings. For example, it would be immoral to use someone for our own gain, such as exploiting their labor for profit. Let's take a look at an example of how the categorical imperative can be applied in practice. Suppose you are a doctor and have a patient who is suffering from a terminal illness. The patient requests euthanasia to end their suffering. According to Kantian Deontology, euthanasia is always wrong because it involves treating a human being as a means to an end rather than as an end in themselves. Therefore, as a doctor, you would be obligated to refuse the patient's request for euthanasia. So, how can we apply Kantian Deontology in our daily lives? One way is to always act with good intentions and to treat others with respect and dignity. This means that we should consider the consequences of our actions and ensure that they are in line with the principles of the categorical imperative. Thank you for watching our video on Kantian Deontology. We hope that you gained a better understanding of this ethical theory and how it can guide us in making moral decisions. Remember, always act with good intentions and treat others with respect and dignity. Until next time.